Welcome back to another episode of the Backholder Pod. So sadly, we don't have Eric with us today. He's in the process of lifelong learning. So I believe he's on course today. So that's why we'll give him a break for 1 week. But anyhow, we just wanted to extend the discussion from the previous week where we got Ziet on over to talk about myriad of different issues. And it seems like while monitoring our comments, there were a lot of people basically slaughtering him for his crypto opinion. So I think just long story short, I'll just flash out maybe in post edits as well some of the comments, and I'll just read out what to so that you guys have more context about the discussion beforehand. So from this user called NIKR5646, he said, "Bruh, I love brain cells listening to him explain crypto. Totally get the point about not investing from a risk asset point of view, but explain the negatives properly, else just be humble and claim ignorance. It's a proven fact that money laundering is a way lesser on crypto than fiat. On the point about crypto ban, it's only happened in few countries like China. Every other country preaches a free market dynamics. It's like saying, what if they ban gold? Yes, gold is used as a reserve by countries, but ultimately it boils down to what the mass populace agrees he has value." Another one started with personal attack on the portfolio. He said, "Don't buy crypto, end up back holding Tesla." So Mr. Run then say Mr. Run. No need to come up with money laundering, this kind of BS. Crypto will stay as long Fed keeps printing. This is a fact you have to accept. So I think just to open this entire discussion, right? So Kelvin, what do you think of this? I think Ziet's position first, and then you can make a comment on the comments in that video.
Well, first thing first, I feel very bad for Sian. That one was I invited him, and then he's actually quite a very good YouTuber lah. He got do his research and stuff. So I think for crypto, he avoid it because of those reasons, I guess. Not necessarily is a bad investment or what. It's just that he's not agreeable to the effects of Bitcoin on the world's economy and stuff. I think that's perfectly fine actually. It's like saying like, oh, I like Thai green curry. Then if you don't like Thai green curry, then you are a stupid guy. It's saying something like that lah. So those comments are something like that. So I think like you can't expect everyone to like the same thing as you, right? That would be impossible. So everyone has different views lah. If you don't invest, then that's fine. No need to attack people like that. Actually, for Bitcoin, I'm still on the fence, sort of. Like, okay, on one hand, it can go up. As long as there's demand, it will always go up. On the other hand, it can go to zero. Probably now it's a bit harder already because there's all those ETFs. Because with all those ETFs, all the institutions will be forced to buy Bitcoin. So why do I say that? So like, you'll be in all those like retirement funds, other kind of ETFs. So when people buy those ETFs, they are a side effect of those ETFs is that the fund managers will have to buy up Bitcoin, whether they like it or not. It has created this kind of demand, or involuntarily kind of created this kind of demand. So maybe Bitcoin won't go to zero, but will it continue going up this one? I'm not so sure. Yeah.
You mentioned a few times going to zero. Later, you are the one that gonna attack later.
But actually, before that, right, I wanted to ask Kelvin, right? Because, okay, you used the Thai green curry analogy, right? But I feel like, at least based on the sentiments in the comments, was that, okay, so for example, today, Boon Tee like chicken rice, and I like duck rice. But I keep telling Boon Tee that chicken rice is bad for your health. So maybe then, after that, that's why Boon Tee will start attacking my duck rice. You get what I mean? So that's why there was this compounding in like sentiments and, oh, you say my crypto money laundering, then later I say that you miss the boat and you lose monies. Things like that, you know. So it's a tit for tat kind of situation. But anyhow, Boon Tee, do you have any comments? First on the Ziet's comments and then on the comment section.
Yeah, first thing I would say is that that's quite a long interview, right? So we mentioned quite a number of topics from stock investing to his personal journey to his business as a YouTuber, or all those things. And out of different topics, the crypto one is just like a very short one, and he don't even have like a very strong opinion and tell you get away from crypto. So he don't have a strong opinion, but yet people attack him for that. I don't think that's fair lah. But come back to this argument about Bitcoin, right? I think the difference between crypto versus investing, right, is that for investing, say name value investing, right? If you ask those true value investor, like okay, you spot the company, you want to buy this company, do you want more and more people come and join you? Actually, the answer most likely is that no, because they want to buy something that's cheap and then so that they can profit before others know about it, right? Because if all this good deal people know about it, the price will beat up already, so he can't buy it that cheap, right? So this is the mindset of value investor. But come to Bitcoin, right, it's very very different because uh like what is Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is just a ledger, right? And how this ledger create or maintain the value is through the community. Because if you think that community is not important, right, then actually it's very easy to duplicate another Bitcoin with the exact same algo, right? You can just duplicate, but you won't. It's very hard to make it successful because people already camp on the OG Bitcoin camp. They are not going to move out there. So you really need this kind of like supporter people. They call it like a Bitcoin believers, like you really believe on these things, and then hence it has value. Okay. But how to make people believe it is that you have to do this kind of things. So like you have to, wow, you believe in Bitcoin, you're bro, man. And if you are not a believer, I don't want to say the words how you get what I mean. It's like people just
Have fun
attack.
staying
Yeah,
poor.
yeah. Have fun staying poor. I think that's the mild one. Yet there's still quite a number of other way to attack people, right? So I think that's the feature of like this Bitcoin crypto things. It's all about the community, and either you are in or you are out. So that's why I'll say for those, even if you are not a believer, maybe just stay away from talking bad things about all this stuff, because you are not attacking, you are not commenting on the instrument itself. You actually comment on community, and once you're commenting on the community, you will get attacked now. So that's the risk.
What Boon Tee says is actually a lot like religion. Like, like if you are against certain kind of religion, they say, "Oh, you are insulting my God." Then those are who are in the religion, they'll try to pull you into the religion. Oh, what you mean you don't believe in my God? You say my God is fake. Yeah, so it is kind of very sensitive stuff. Yeah, better not comment too much.
But it's interesting, so Bitcoin has recently breached the 70K mark, and we have seen some of the altcoins, like even those more meme-like ones like Dogecoin. I'm not, by the way, I think there are some use cases on some projects that might have potential adoption in the future, but there are some really outright just there to, I mean, for people to speculate. So I think there's one that's like Floki or Cat with Hat or some nonsense. That one is because I know of these coins because my friend actually shared it to me and told me that, see how much money I made in like 2 or 3 days or something because of the rally. But I think that said, if you were to look at the bigger ones like ETH and Bitcoin, they have participated in a pretty large rally over the last few months, per se. I just wanted to get the opinion from like maybe Boon Tee and Kelvin also, because you guys have participated in the rally, meaning you guys have at least a bit small exposure in the crypto space. What's your attitude towards this whole crypto position in your portfolio? Maybe just want to ask Boon Tee first.
I stay out completely, like never touch all these positions at all for quite some time already, like it's counted in years.
Sorry,
So
stay out completely means you still hold the position. It's just that you don't
all
touch.
positions
Okay.
sit it somewhere. I think the hardware wallet may be lost already. I also don't know. I don't really care. A new one, I don't have new positions. I stay out from it. I think what I want to say is that I think these things is like there's not much changes in terms of the fundamentals, right? Like the commodity is still the same. How it works, everything is still the same. What is different is just that now, that there's more people coming in, maybe because of the Bitcoin ETF and people speculating of Ethereum ETF. So there are all these things that's happening, but all this is just affecting the demand. In terms of the supply, everything, these are all hard coded. You can say that it's hard coded. So they progress as per coded, means that there's no change in terms of the supply projection and so on. So it's just about like people suddenly interested and the price went up further, more people will be interested. I have friends asking me like, what's your opinion on Bitcoin? I was like, this, if you talk about the fundamentals, everything remained the same since it was created. The difference is just the demand. Yeah. Then the question is, do we want to chase or not? For me, I'll just stay out now. I'm not interested now.
Chi Keng mentioned about buying all those altcoin. So my I will stay out of altcoin lah. Actually, I never really buy much nowadays anyway. I bought like 2 years ago before the crash. After the crash, I like put my ledger aside and never look at it till now. Till now, yeah, it went back up lah. But for the altcoin, I think that one of the reasons I never buy those, right, is like it's not that I believe it will go to zero. It is very likely to go to zero. It's more like even if I buy, right, how much can I afford to buy? Let's say I buy $10,000, I can afford to lose. Let's say I can afford to lose 10,000. Then let's say if the thing goes up by 100%, so $10,000 will become $20,000. So you're risking 100% to earn maybe 100%, maybe 1,000%. So let's say the 10,000 goes up to $100,000. Is it significant money? Yes, but yeah, but I can easily earn that from my job, man. So that's what I'm saying. It's better to put that money into things that I'm more certain than bet it on something that can lose everything, lor. So that's my philosophy when it comes to betting on this kind of crazy stuff. But my question to Chi Keng is like, what's your thoughts on crypto itself?
Actually, my thoughts have changed. So I'll explain to you what was the initial process like. So I think crypto really came into, like, it became the in thing, right, back in 2021. So back then, actually, I was still in university. And I believe you guys should understand that what's the typical profile of crypto bros lah, which is basically everybody around me back then lah. And that initial thought that came was when I think, was it Buffett or Munger that said that when even the shoe shiner tell you it's good time to buy stocks, the market probably peaked. That was exactly the case in uni. Every literal Tom, Dick, and Harry is telling me whether they have crypto exposure, what Bitcoin, what crypto coin they have, and how much they earned in the last week, along those lines. So back then, I didn't really treated it very seriously. But that said, I do have quite a lot of influence around me talking about it day in, day out, talking about it, about how this is going to be a game changer, Web3. I even attended like 1 or 2 functions. Like, really, it's like 100 people in a room. They are all crazy about this whole technology and how this thing is going to change the future. So I guess in a way, I can understand about the community aspect and how there's a and by the way, they are not those typical people on the internet, on Twitter, on X, scolding me that have fun staying put, that kind. They can legitimately be very articulate, basically laying out their arguments on why this particular project or this particular coin is good or not good, for example. So that's why that kind of shifted my mindset a little bit. Then I went on to basically consume some very surface level content, meaning some people explaining about the process behind it and explaining about why this is superior over some traditional finance vehicles. So that was my initial thing. And then I think recently when it came to the 2024 or 2023 and 2024 kind of movement up, right? I thought, oh, guys, here we go again. NVIDIA 10x in like 1-2 years. And then the stock market basically going up and the crypto market risk on environment and just everything chunked together, right? But I've came to realize something. So I mean, a lot of the traditional people, they keep thinking that actually crypto is just rat poison or rat poison squared. It's a non-productive asset. Nobody's gonna be bothered about it. But I think on second thought, when you think about it on a deeper level, right? Actually, what doesn't change across time? It's called human greed. Human greed doesn't change across time. And speculation also wouldn't change across time. Regardless of what asset it is, speculation will always be here to stay. So it comes to the point and this appreciation that there might be a case where you really just look at it as a long-term, I wouldn't say compounder, but just a long-term thing where you just hedge your portfolio. So that's my position now. I have yet to start a position or to have anything there because I'm not confident enough. But I'm just saying that from a different perspective, actually there is a role in a way. And also maybe why more and more people are adopting that kind of mindset, which is why 不妨啦，不妨试试. In Chinese, it's just why not? Why not just throw in 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 money that you can lose and just participate in the fun and loss lah. Like to people, they think that just have a small position. What's wrong? I can lose that $1,000-$2,000. I treat it as I treat my parents to a good meal or something like that. For example. I guess my biggest worry in a way is some of these things that won't change, right? Like human greed or speculation or finding a new store of value, having a gold position. My worry is more of what if Bitcoin lose relevancy. I think that's the only worry that I have. Not so much about trying to get against human emotion, but more so about the asset specifically. So they're saying that Bitcoin is the new digital gold, meaning the Gen Zs would love Bitcoin more than gold, which I think that it's plausible, but who knows what's the new thing that will come. So for now, I still kind of just want to do my own thing or play in the lane that I'm more comfortable with. That's just my position, but maybe in the future, who knows? I would say never say never lah. That's my perspective.
I think don't have to worry too much about like Bitcoin losing its status lah, because you have to compare different coins, right? Like some coins, they say they are much better because of the technology, because it is newer and better, scale better, all sort of things, right? But if it is better in terms of technology, then there will be another coins that become better in terms of technology sometime in the future, right? But for Bitcoins, it is very special because it is not good because of the technology. It is good because it doesn't change. Like there's a strong incentive around it to say that okay, this codes that is operating now, together with all the incentives are like the miners, the holders, and so on. They are all incentivized to not changing anything. So because so hard to change, so it will be just equivalent to like gold. Like gold, it sit there, do nothing, it won't change, right? It won't get eroded, right? So I think there's some similarities between the characteristic. So if you are buying Bitcoin, I think it won't change one. Don't worry about this. And the community also is like the strongest because like so many people what big from it become a strong believers, right? So yeah, you need this type of people to stay there instead of like just speculators. Because imagine that people speculate, right? You get in, out, in, out, in, out. These things can really zero when there are many people get out at the same time. But for Bitcoin, they are really like strong believers that just stay like really long term. You know?
Yeah. So these are the, I guess, nuances in terms of the discussion, and you kind of need to make the judgment on what's the strength of the ecosystem, lah. Meaning the strength of all these people, and what's the incentive structure for each other to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Because if you really fundamentally think about it, right, what's the driving force of an equity? It's people talk about the stock. Sometimes you say that maybe you can argue that it's very manipulated from emotions point of view as well. But that's in the short term. Because in the long term, if the company really want to set a floor, they can just give out massive amount of dividends. Then confirm will people take the risk over to take the dividends. But when you go into the crypto world, right, it's purely demand supply. So that's why a lot of people like to say it's non-productive, it's speculative. But the issue is because it's purely demand supply, that's why you are betting on people continuously having a new wave of demand, which keeps the price there and to keep pushing the price up. So that's the fundamental nature of Bitcoin, or I mean crypto assets in general. So that's why you kind of need to, like Boon Tee said, look into the ecosystem, look at what's the incentive structure like and how things are playing out. I mean, for now, I guess I'm still at a very surface level and I don't understand enough. But I wouldn't plant my flag down and say that I confirm won't, or call it rat poison squared, because I do know of people and friends that are very invested into this space, and they are basically every day got new things to share. So that's my perspective now.
Whenever someone talk about something that they want to invest in, right, it's their own personal belief. Then when you ask them about, would you recommend this to your parents, to your grandparents, the answer is probably another different thing. So then my question to Chi Keng again is like, not again. My question to Chi Keng is like, would you recommend like your grandmother to buy Bitcoin?
Cannot leh. I think it's different objective leh. This one is the trap that I need to call this trap out that Kelvin tried to dig inside. I think different people, different objective, right? So for myself, from a perspective of, let's say you talk about parents and grandparents, different financial objective. But if you say on friends, meaning like friends wise, maybe we are all more similar in terms of our trajectory, our state of life, and how long we have. So in a way, that's one part. And actually, there's another interesting discussion. I believe is from Josh back in the crypto winter. He was saying that he's accumulating 1 ETH per week or 1 ETH per month. 2 ETH per month, one for each kid. So he's basically doing planning or doing projection for his kid, because his kid has an even longer time horizon for him to weather all these things. And I don't know what's his main logic, but at least to me, I see that you are basically betting on this continuous demand. So in a way, if I happen to have a kid and if I have the financial capacity to buy 1 ETH per week, I mean, Why not to treat it as other people? I mean, the older generation will leave one whole lump sum of CPF, right? But in this case, in this new era, maybe you will leave one whole bag of quotes and one whole bag of Eve to your kids in the future. I mean, that might be the new way forward. So yeah, I hope that I hope I given more color and context. So if I extend this discussion, Kelvin, will you leave a bag of quotes or bag of Eve for your daughter in this case?
Whatever is mine will eventually belong to my kid also, ma. But to answer your question directly, I am not investing separately for my kids, lah, whether it's stocks or cryptos, because I don't really see the point of managing so many portfolios. Like I'm already managing my wife, my parents, and myself. So I don't need to add another burden to myself, lah. So whatever I have it will eventually belong to them. Follow-up question now I'll ask Boon Tee, lah. So do you think so Josh is buying crypto for his kids, lah. So do you think buying crypto, is it better to buy crypto for your kids or put it in CPF for your kids or buy just the S&P 500 for your kids?
Yeah, I think my approach is same as yours. It's like I don't really segregating all this. It's like I manage my portfolio for the entire family. So whatever I own, we all share proportionally. And in terms of allocations, I have maybe like low single digit percentage in crypto. So and anyway, they are in hard wallet. So I don't. You never own a Bitcoin or crypto. By the way, actually, what you have is just like you have the control of the all this account, right? So you never really own it. There's no physical or digital things that you own it, right? But I think it's still like a good place to start to understand all this ecosystem. I think that there's some value in terms of the knowledge there. But and all these things by just holding on behalf of my children, I don't think it helps with their educations. But by the time they are old enough to understand all this, I would just encourage them to go and open their wallet and play it themselves rather than I keep holding. I'm keeping on their behalf.
But maybe by then already $1 million.
It's okay. All these
you can own fractional, no problem.
Yeah, there will be a newer shitcoin that come out, so they will play with that, so that's fine.
Actually, I find it interesting. So both of y'all manage the family portfolio. So how do you explain to maybe your wife when Tesla keeps going down, for example? Or do you all need to do a quarterly update or I don't, like those fund managers, right? They need to do quarterly update or yearly round up to explain to investors, right? Can I just understand what's the process?
You think GIC got explain to you how they invest, man?
But they explain to the Minister of Finance.
Yeah,
that's our representative.
But they don't explain to the commoners, ma.
Okay.
The more you talk about it, the more headache you will get.
Then maybe I'll ask Boon Tee. So Boon Tee, I know you did spectacularly well over the last 1 to 2 years. I think you were basically vindicated lah. So 2022 wasn't very good. I think the portfolio took a big hit. But I think in 2023, moving to 2024, there was this very, very big rally. So can you walk me through the thought process on? I believe actually you shared a graph before. I don't know whether you want to cut this out or not, but you shared a graph before and you were underperforming the index for quite some time. And then this last 2 years, wow, the catch up was crazy. And within that period of underperformance, right? How do you stay convicted that your style of investing is correct and that the money that put with you, right? Whether is it your kids, ang pao money, or your wife's savings, or your parents, right? How do you convince yourself that this is in good hands rather than why not just throw in the index fund for them and why are you managing their money? Can you walk me through that thought?
Whether the investing style is correct or not, just to be frank, right? Nobody knows, right? So I really don't know whether it's right or wrong. It's just that
That's why you still got the balls to
I mean, it's just that I invest it this way, then this is the way, because of course I can change my mind to put more into ETF, all these things. I think I will review from time to time, especially let's say if there's no good opportunities around that I see like mispricing, right? I'll just put my money with ETF. I think nothing wrong with that. It's just that how to stay convicted, I don't have a strong view to say my way is the right way, To me, it's just like, okay, you have saving, you have to put into some money into stocks, you put into stocks. And if you have preferred stocks, then you put into those companies that you like, right? So it's just like normal, not much emotional kind of way of investing. But speaking of managing family's money, right? I don't take my wife's money, okay? Hers is hers. Okay, mine I invest, like mine is the family one, doesn't belong to me alone. But hers one is hers. I don't touch. But the interesting is that we don't really discuss like all this performance. Like my portfolio 100%. You know my portfolio more than my wife know about my portfolio. She don't really care about it. Even to the extent that I told her, I think a few weeks ago, I said, wow, Nvidia share price shoot up a lot now. Her first impression was, you also didn't buy. So what? I say, actually have I told her I have 100 shares. Then she was like a bit like puzzled. Like I think she don't know like what's the current price. Then I said, you know, this is like, don't know, 3x or 4x back then. Yeah, I told her. Then she was like, okay, good lor. It's just like not much discussions. Yeah.
But I think from a cost basis, you at least got 5x, right? From
Yeah,
your
I guess
previous
so.
cost.
Yeah.
So she also didn't probe much, or she didn't.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
the thing is this, right? If the result is good, you don't celebrate too much. Then when let's say the share price crash or anything, right? You also don't have to explain much, right? So this is not just the topic that we discuss a lot on now. There are many other topics to talk about. Investing is not one of them. That's why I have to get to YouTube to voice all these, like market or portfolio view, because yeah, in the family, the kids are not old enough to discuss like in depth. And my wife don't really, she's not interested with all this discussion.
Right. Okay. So I think that's one side topic. If we were to come back to the main topic of this video, which is crypto, right? So for crypto, if I'm not wrong, in the start of the year, when we did a prediction, I think Kelvin was the only one that said Bitcoin would be one of the best performer, right?
Did I?
Do-
Eric also got say, I think.
I remember Kelvin more strongly. So Kelvin, are you still of the opinion that Bitcoin is going to be the best performer? And do you think we still have leg to run
I
in this
think
rally?
like in terms of demand, right? Bitcoin probably can perform better than Nvidia. So Nvidia, okay, Nvidia is like right now everything is perfect, right? Everything sweet, everything has been factored in. But Bitcoin is right now is still a mystery. So everyone is running up now is because of the halving event, right? So that's in May. Then after the halving event, probably there will be like sell on news kind of thing. So probably it will drop back down, maybe to zero, maybe not to zero. But after the zero, right? If you just look based on historical trend, after it drops, after the halving event ends, the amount of cryptos that will be mined every day will be lesser, basically. So this means lower supply, higher demand based on this theory. So whether it will come true this time or not, I don't know. But for all the previous halving, it did come true. So that's my bull thesis. This halving thing will have quite a big effect on Bitcoin if it were to come true. And the other thing I have to add, right? So a lot of people, some people hate Bitcoin, but the thing is, Bitcoin survived for so many years already. I think it's about 15, 16 years. Plus, for every winter that it goes through, right, the believers just get a lot more. Yeah, then right now, even all the fund managers are in on this too. Then countries are going to start adopting it next. It gets more and more bullish. Whether I will recommend it to my grandmother or not, probably not. I don't think not everyone can handle the volatility. Then not everyone can handle the loss if it were to go down. So this is the thing that I have to be careful of.
So I think this general discussion is of course just our opinion. For those of you who are strong believers, right? Please, in Chinese it's called 手下留情. Don't kill us too much in the comments. I think we do respect civil discussions, and if you want to have a point by point kind of argument, please feel free to leave in the comments below. But if it goes into like the personal attack territory, then maybe some of us might just delete it. You won't know who deleted it anyway, because four of us have access channel, so we'll just blame each other. But anyway, if you really want your point to be taken and to be appreciated, then we would kind of hope that it should be a respectful discussion. And you can see that we tend to go into the comments to reply sometimes. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the discussion, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.